5 seconds of pixelation. The pixels
Okay.
disappear. I've learned this. And now we're good.
Jazz hands.
Samantha Kris, you made it.
We're here.
We spent some time together. I haven't spent any more time than with anyone other than you virtually. We hung out Monday night on one of your calls, and today I get the pleasure of re-hosting you on
Dun, 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 dun. Entrepreneurs in Quarantine. Love
Very
it.
dramatic. I used to wear suits. Now I grow my beard and talk to other entrepreneurs who are going through all kinds of interesting things. Samantha Kris, who are you and what do you do?
Goodness, I am a success coach and change management professional. That is my day job. I am also author, speaker, podcaster, also by day, but usually in the evening. So there's a lot. I wear a lot of hats, but it all kind of rolls up into helping people lean into change, navigate through getting to the better version of themselves and their companies.
So this is why I absolutely wanted to do a segment with you, because we are going through change. We're going through, the biggest change that anyone of our generation has ever seen, our parents' generation. So we're in change. How does your industry, when you're preaching change,
Yeah.
what happens when we're all changing?
Yeah.
What happens to you? How do you coach people to go through this? Can you?
It's interesting. So I have two pillars of my business. One of them is coaching. I work really closely with entrepreneurs. Where'd you go?
Sorry, I'm back. Sorry. It's the home office. It's not very
This is the
safe.
real life, you guys.
The kids are going to barge through any second.
That's cool. My dogs might also join the conversation. Yeah, so I do coaching as one pillar of the business. That industry has totally turned on its head. I mean, we have to fundamentally reassess how we're doing business, because either people are so desperate for guidance or have lost their jobs or have no idea how to pivot in this new landscape that we need to reassess everything. On the other side, I do change management and corporate communications. And as you can imagine, that's booming right now because companies, although, hey, they see the importance of change management and communications, they weren't necessarily equipped to deal with it overnight. So
exactly,
we're all being forced to level up.
So talking about leveling up, we're forced to make these changes. And I had a lot of, I was actually inspired by a lot of your guests and clients on the podcast Monday. And someone asked me a great question. How do you sell? How can you consciously sell products or services during this time when people are broke, people are losing their businesses, people are losing the dreams of entrepreneurship that they've been that they've been building for 10 years? Can you consciously sell services or talk about anything other than COVID at this time?
It's really tricky. We have to be really sensitive about it. I think that not everyone needs to cease selling right now. I think what we need to get crystal clear on is the value that we deliver. And if we can say with wholehearted conviction that what we are bringing to market in a time of crisis will provide value, we can't stop selling. Business needs to go on. Life needs to go on. People need to feel like there's some sense of normalcy. What I don't think is okay right now is selling, capitalizing on fear, capitalizing on uncertainty, and dropping prices so low just to fill your funnel. It's not good business. It's going to bring short-term success, but it won't be sustainable and ultimately will hurt your brand.
Such a good point. Not compromising even in a time when you want to compromise. That's really solid. And talking about right now, your changes and things that you're going through. What have you learned in this time of crisis, this time of change? What have you realized? What's going through your mind?
I've totally had to pivot, even in the areas of the business that are doing well. What worked for people yesterday, what resonated yesterday or pre-COVID is just not necessarily what's resonating now. And as a change expert and as being someone who really, really loves change, I tell everyone I am more afraid of boredom than I am of failure. So this is an environment in which I thrive and where I've been able to capitalize and really be able to honestly come from a place of service and say, this is something I can help you with genuinely because I am good at it. And I see that you might be struggling. There are strategies, but I need to pivot my go-to-market message. I need to make sure that I am coming truly from a place of service as opposed to a pitch. And all my 2020 strategy, particularly for Q1 and Q2, has gone out the window. It doesn't mean that I can't pick it back up, but I need to recognize that things are changing, people's priorities are changing, and I need to speak to their pain points and be honest in saying, again, it goes back to value. If I cannot add value right now, I have to step away from the sale. It's not worth it.
You've been training all of your life for this. I mean, all of your professional life has been geared to this kind of an apocalyptic size change. And so, I mean, I'm so happy we're having this conversation. It makes me realize that you and I should probably be spending a lot more time together. And so I'm seeing a lot of entrepreneurs on social media who are literally doing the full pivot because they have to, because their B2B business is dead, because the only way they think they can survive is B2C. What would be your message to entrepreneurs who are pivoting out of fear of losing everything? Is this the time now to make a change, or do we wait until some of the dust settles before making fundamental changes to our business and our lives?
Ooh, juicy question. In short, now is the time, in my opinion, to make changes. To elaborate a little bit, it is not the time to make fear-based changes. It is not the time to be short-sighted and to look for band-aid solutions. It's the time to think long-term and ask yourself, what will my audience need next? When this blows over, which it inevitably will, what will they need, and how can I start putting the building blocks in place today so I can have a foundation and structure for them when that time comes? So double down on content, get crystal clear on your message. This is the time to redefine it. If you feel that it's outdated, you feel you're going through some growth, show that to your people, share that with your community, let them in, give them a peek behind the curtain, because this is the time to build trust so that when we do start to rebuild, you're going to be top of mind.
What is one thing that you've learned in this crisis? Either that self-realization or human nature. What is that? What's one thing that kind of resonates with you that you're appalled by, or that you're just really, just pleasantly surprised about?
I think like anyone else, I have these little moments of self-doubt, and am I really on the right track, and am I doing the right thing? And what I am pleasantly surprised by is, despite everything that's going on, my vision has been really clear. The services that I've offered, the way that I've positioned myself remains relevant, remains aligned, and still feels good. I don't feel gross saying, hey, I can actually help you through this, because I'm not coming out of nowhere saying, hey, hire me. I am coming from a place of, look at the last 4 years. This is what I do. I can help you through this. And I've actually felt really good about that.
It's amazing. No doubt whatsoever. Samantha Kris, how will life change forever once we're through with this?
That's so big. How will life change forever? I can't speak on a global scale, but for me, it has reminded me to check in with those who matter. It has reminded me to recenter on the things that matter. And I have realized that there's a lot of things I place my energy on. There's a lot of time that I spend on things that genuinely don't matter. They're not worth my headspace. They're not worth the time and money that I was giving to them. They don't have a direct impact on my business or on my well-being. And I've been able to cut through the clutter during this time. And I hope to hang on to that sense of clarity moving forward, because it's been a really interesting silver lining.
That's an amazing realization. I think I've come to the same conclusion. It's a great time to sit back, spend an excessive amount of time with our kids.
Or dogs.
Are sometimes bored, or dogs, or those are kids as well. But it's rare are the times that I would be on camera with a beard and no tie and a hat. But hey, these are different times, so we have to adapt.
These are different times, and there's one quote that I heard probably about a year and a half ago now, which honestly rings true in my ears almost daily through this time. And it was from Arlene Dickinson. She's one of the dragons on Dragon's Den and a venture capitalist here in Canada. And she was asked what success means to her. And she said, success is when the depths of your courage meet the height of your dreams. which is like, it has just permeated through my body since the moment I heard it. And that's honestly become my motto during this time. It's like, I've got to dig deep. What do I actually believe in my heart of hearts that I have the courage to do? And what is that vision? And let's start bridging the gap, because now is the time to do it. Now is the time to double down on value, to get really, really clear again and just deliver.
I love it. And you will deliver. And this, ladies and gentlemen, was Entrepreneurs in Quarantine. We're having real conversations. Samantha Kris, change expert. If you're ready for change, this is the person you need to speak with. Tell us about the book, because the book will have a lot of these elements, a lot of these goal-setting methodologies that you've set, that are really trademark Samantha Kris. Tell us about the book and how people can get in touch with you and take advantage of the resources you've created for them.
Thank you. The book is Bossing Up. It is available in all major retailers, online as well. So during this time of quarantine, hit up Amazon. That's probably going to be your best bet. It is a book about creating opportunities for success, both for yourself and your others in life and in business. So as Jamie mentioned, really focused on goal setting. It's where I introduced my proprietary method called the Real Goal Methodology, which was also further elaborated in my TED Talk called Setting Goals That Matter, if you want to look that up. And it's about setting goals that resonate, that empower you, that are actionable and lucrative. And in a time where lucrative, we need to get creative. We need to think outside the box. It can't just be monetary gains. It's a really effective tool. So you can find all the information on my website, samanthakris.com. All the links are there. My social handles are there. So don't be shy. Reach out. I'd be happy to help.
That was awesome. Samantha Kris, you're looking great for someone in quarantine, I got to say. Hang in there. Thank you so much for taking time. And I can't wait to touch base with you when this is all over.
Thank you for having me and for getting me out of Sasquatch mode, because this is not my look. This is not it.
Have a great day. Thanks for being with me.
Thanks.